Hey friends, welcome back for our third episode of our bathroom build series here on my channel. Today we are starting to make this look like an actual room. We are going to be adding some walls, some drywall, fixing the flooring, and just prepping this room for everything that comes before the pretty stuff. The first thing we're taking care of in this room are our sloping floors. I'll link a video here that discusses how we've tried to fix the sloping floors and struggled with that greatly, and a very costly way to try to fix it, and sadly we are still left with about a 1-inch slope to these floors. You're seeing here are subfloors, and there's just not a better way to solve this problem than to just pour some self-leveling concrete. This will give us a smooth base to be applying any tile, and it's honestly just our best option at this point. So the first thing Christian's doing is putting some pink foam around the edges, and then doing some sprayable expanding foam for all of the holes and gaps. Then him and Madeline are pouring down a primer. I don't think we quite got the measurements right for this, and we used way more primer than necessary. Thankfully it wasn't an issue and it all dried down, but you can see that we had a lot. Okay, interrupting the video for a little fast update. We had the electrician come out this morning, hook up the panel, so we officially have power to the bathroom. So we've hooked up the can light up here. We'll have to take it out when we want to refinish the ceiling and all of that stuff. But we just want more lighting in this room, and we're about to start pouring the concrete. Looking back on this process, we probably should have laid down some drop cloths or been a little bit more prepared for the messiness that comes with this part of the project. It was a bit of a stressful situation, one, because we started it around bedtime, so Madeline was tired, and then also we just created concrete messes everywhere. Thankfully, they're really easy to clean up, and we're refinishing all of the hardwoods in the house at a later date, so we weren't too stressed about it, but mixing all the concrete inside of the house was not our greatest idea. Also, if you're following over on Instagram, you definitely saw the part or the audio from Madeline dipping her toes into the wet concrete. Christian had drilled a screw in each corner at the height we needed the concrete to come to make the floors absolutely level, and it worked pretty well. It also dries super fast, so I believe it was the next day that he was starting to cut up all this pink foam and taking out all of the barriers to stop it from spreading throughout our entire house, and this worked really, really well. We didn't quite fill it up just to the screw lines, so he had to take a multi-tool with a special bit to take off all the screw heads that were sticking above the concrete, but this worked beautifully for leveling our floors and was pretty straightforward and beginner friendly. Christian's also going to add in some more backing into the framing while the walls are still open. We think we're going to be adding some towel hooks over here, so just to make that nice and sturdy, he's putting in these extra pieces of framing before we drywall it all. He's also going to finish up all of the insulation we're doing. This insulation is soundproofing insulation because this wall is shared with Madeline's bedroom, and we don't want our showers at night or anyone using a bathroom after bedtime to wake her up, so we are taking all the precautions necessary. Now, jumping around a little bit, Christian's going to hop into the ceiling, and this is our HVAC situation. He's going to be doing a new line, so we have heating and cooling into this bathroom. It's not super necessary for this bathroom, but we do have it in the current guest bath that exists in the house, and we love it. So we took the time to add that into this one because we do love to have the heat in the bathroom on chilly mornings. Now it's time to make this actually look like a room. Starting in the back where our shower will be, Christian is installing backer board here. He uses this T-shape wood piece that he drills in temporarily to help him hang it by himself. You'll see me pop in and out to give him a little bit of help. And for everybody's sanity and for the sake of our marriage, we didn't film all of the clips of us hanging the backer board and drywall on the ceiling because it was not a smooth process. Hanging drywall stinks. Hanging backer board stinks, especially when it's heavy like this. And the drywall onto to the ceiling is the most miserable part. So take it from us, you better be in a happy place in your marriage if you're gonna go through that together, because it was trying, to say the least. So here he's gonna be doing some of the fittings for the fixtures above the ceiling. He's put the vent fan in the last episode he installed that and ran the ductwork out to the roof. He's also going to be cutting the hole for the AC to come through, adding the vent cover on that, and you saw earlier that he added the hole for the can light. It's so exciting to see this room actually come to life and have walls and actually visualize how much space is actually in here. And then we got really excited and started adding in some of our tile and our fixtures just to double check that we were making the right choices. It's definitely hard to just kind of guess and have a design idea in your head and not really be able to see it come to life in a room or have any idea if it'll all work together. It's definitely like a shot in the dark and just hoping that it all works out, and I'm still nervous. As I'm editing this, we're still not quite done with the bathroom, but we're a lot farther along, and I am already very nervous about my tile choices, my wall choices. Just every little thing has me questioning whether it was the right decision or not. I really hope it works out, so subscribe and make sure you're following along to see if it happens or if it all is not worth it, because this bathroom has been quite the process to get pulled together. Finally, all of the backer board and drywall is hung and her room looks like a padded cell, but it's time to keep just moving forward. The first thing Christian's doing is taping all of the seams with the backer board with a mesh tape. He's going to be applying thin set over this. It's I don't even know exactly what it is. It's like a thinner concrete maybe. It's what you're going to set your tile in, but it's also what you apply along all of these seams and joints to make sure that you have a like solid base to waterproof. Waterproofing is a very serious part of building a bathroom. It's probably the most important part, arguably, and it's something we're taking very, very seriously. So Christian is taking his sweet time to tape every nook and cranny, especially in this niche box, and then he's going to go in taping off and protecting our beautiful new tub before he mixes up that thin set and then coats all of it. It's kind of tricky and it's definitely a huge learning curve. I shared a DIY process where I did completely remudding a wall in our kitchen, and it is not easy. So I know it like can look simple when you're watching a video like this, like, oh, it'd be so easy to just smooth this on. Like, do not believe that. This is a struggle. This is a like learning curve, and it's definitely why tradespeople who have done this for years and years and years make it look easy. And when you do it yourself, you'll be quickly humbled. We would have loved to just hire this out, but we're really determined to DIY as much as possible in this bathroom. So we were ready to learn, and I think Christian did an awesome job. Now for the rest of the drywall in the room, he is taping and mudding that. He's mixing some joint compound with a little bit of water, putting drywall tape, just filling in all of the same screw holes and seams like he did in the shower. Once Christian cleans up the thin set a little bit, he is ready to start waterproofing. We're using a product called Hydroban, which is a fun green color. You might have seen other waterproofing products like Red Guard, it's a bright red or pink color, or other colorful options. Ours is a little more subdued, so it's not as fun to look at, but it does the same exact thing. It's just going to protect this backer board even more. He's going to do 2 coats of this, and this will make sure that we don't have a mold or anything that's bad with water leaking through our walls. The floors are getting the same treatment from the Hydroban, 2 coats, making sure to get in every little nook and cranny and truly waterproof this bathroom properly. Christian had run out of joint compound for all of the mudding and taping of the drywall, so that's why he skipped ahead to doing the waterproofing of the floor. He just wanted to keep the project rolling, even though it would break up all of the steps. So the next day he had gone out to the store, gotten more, and then worked on doing the taping and mudding of the ceiling. Now for all of the walls, it's not super important that it's super smooth and clean. We're going to be covering all of the drywall with a wall paneling. I'm very, very excited and a little bit nervous about, but the drywall on the ceiling will actually be just normal drywall, so Christian wanted to make sure he is doing every step perfectly to make this as seamless and as good of a drywall job as possible. So he's planning on doing multiple coats of mudding and taping and sanding of this process, so this was his first go about of it. You can also see him start to have a teeny tiny helper wanting to come in while he was working there. Apparently Maddie had the headlamp on to the side, already turned on, and was ready to come into the bathroom and help Christian work. Very, very cute. Sanding the drywall is the worst part of the process. It's so messy, but it really does make it look a million times better. So Christian's just taking a little sanding block and just doing a quick once over on all of the drywall. Ending this update with a little overview of everything. It's very echoey because we have walls in this space now, which is very exciting. But an overview of where we are leaving this room now. We have poured self-leveling concrete on the floor, so the floor is actually super level. We're very pleased with how that turned out. We have the transition strip to go here. So we'll put that in when we get to fixing the floors. You can almost see how much of a difference there is in the slope of the floor because it's super thick right here with the concrete. That like shadow is where the concrete is versus over here. It is not thick at all, so you can see just how big that gapping was. Christian also did drywall on the ceiling on all of our walls. It is backer board behind our shower. It's like a version of cement board basically. And then he did thin set and mesh tape along all of the joints here. Anything that was the backer board, he's doing thin set for. So this, you can kind of see the mesh tape underneath it. And then he did 2 layers of Hydroban waterproofing. So this shower is just ready to be tiled next. That's the next step for the shower. Now for the ceiling and the rest of the walls in the room, it is just drywalled, and then we have started the taping and mudding process. You can see along the walls, it is not very smooth or a very good finish. We're not concerned about how the drywall on the walls actually looks though, because we will be covering ceiling to floor, all of it in a paneling. Stay tuned for the next episode that will be included in that. We're gonna put our big wall treatment on, so we don't worry too much about the mudding and taping being like perfect in this room. However, for the ceiling, we have a lot more work to do because this will just be drywall. So we probably have maybe 2 or 3 more days of mudding, taping, sanding, that whole process until we're happy with the final result there and can paint. But you can definitely start to see where all of the fixtures will go. We'll have our light switch here, we'll have our outlet here, 2 wall sconces, a mirror, all of our vanity will be right there, toilet. Eventually the new door will be placed here. It's finally starting to come together and we are ready now to tile the shower and the floors. Next episode will include that. So the shower will be done, the floor tile will be in, and we will put the wall paneling on. So stay tuned and subscribe for next week's update when we have that happening. And then the week after that should be kind of the final reveal. We'll have the final finishes, the mirror, the toilet, all of vanity install, painting the paneling, the ceiling. Lots of fun stuff to come in this bathroom, but we are so close. We have done so much of like the back end work and now it's time for the fun and pretty stuff. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.